Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, as well as Pokemon Sword and Shield, have updates for Pokemon Week. Let's break them down. Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka Drive. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video today, and today we are looking into the Pokemon Week updates as we head into Pokemon Day on the 27th, of course, this month, hoping for that big announcement for Legends Arceus DLC or maybe Generation 9 or something like that. But along the week, we had this calendar that kind of broke out some of the different things that they're going to be talking about. And Tuesday, of course, was the Sword and Shield announcement. And then there was actually an update to BDSP. So we're going to kind of talk about all of that in this video. Hit that like button down below if you guys enjoy these types of videos. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new so you don't miss out on our Pokemon news and updates. And if you haven't done so yet, head over to teamshiny.com and pick up some awesome merch over there. You can use code Arceus to get 15% off if you pick up 3 shirts or more. But without further ado, let's dive into the news and talk about whether or not this update is anything worth writing home about. Surprise, surprise! The Pokemon Sword and Shield update is regarding a new raid battle. Gigantamax, Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise have been added to max raid battles in Pokemon Sword and Shield for a limited period of time. Whoop-de-doo! We got max raid battles. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. I told you guys, don't expect much from the Sword and Shield update. There was the tiniest, minuscule chance that they were gonna do something cool with adding Pokemon via Pokemon Home or whatever it may be, but it is just them dropping the starters via max raid battles. They have some cool drops. I think you get like a Life Orbs and things like that. That might be handy, some TMs and stuff, but ultimately, this is not anything exciting. I'm not gonna open up Sword and Shield for this. I haven't done a max raid battle event in a really long time, but if you wanna hunt the Gigantamax starters or whatever, Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, which in hindsight, they look cool. Like, Dynamaxing was cool, man, no hate. By all means, go for it. And I love Sword and Shield, don't get me wrong. It's just like, I'm not opening that game right now when I can play Pokemon Legends Arceus. And the real news is primarily regarding that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl has received a new patch. So BDSP gets patch version 1.2, and there's some interesting information regarding 1.2 that you might be interested in. I think it's worth mentioning. So a couple things here. I'll report from Cerebi first, saying the patch activates the group ranking matches in Jubilife TV station. This will allow rankings for players inside the groups and global for Pokemon, Battle Tower, and Super Contest. So, long story short, you can kind of see where you rank amongst other people in these 3 categories: Pokemon, Battle Tower, and Contests. Then Union Room can now be played with 8 people at once, and now you have the ability to show your capsule decorations. Woohoo. There's some Coliseum features in the Pokemon Centers, allowing you to set specific rules for single, double, and multi-battles, such as number of Pokemon, user, and level. However, they did not remove the timer. Once again, I stand by my man Joey Pokeaim, who legitimately is just trying to make cool battle content, and for the last couple games, they put this horrible 20-minute battle timer in the game, and they don't listen to anybody requesting that they remove it, or at least just give us an option to remove it, and thus we cannot do 6v6 single Wi-Fi battles. Single-handedly battling 1 game at a time, it seems. It's absolutely ridiculous, and that's a whole nother tangent I can go off of, but I used to love battling. But you cannot do 6v6 singles in BDSP. You couldn't really do it in Sword and Shield. A 20-minute timer is simply not enough time. It's just not enough time for these matches that can often go 35, 40 minutes, whatever. And just give us the option to remove the timer. That's all people are asking for. Absolutely insane that they haven't done that. They've also offered multi-battles, such as number of Pokemon, user, and level. And now, I find this very interesting, there's new blocks to prevent some Pokemon obtained by unintended methods from being used. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Pimp Knight actually kind of covered some of this. He says, BDSP finally updated this Union Room. There's now 2 more people per room, Coliseum battles, custom rules, etc. But again, no timer options. And he says that this is really nice because you can get faster random battles. You don't have to wait in an empty lobby for hours. Multi-battles are now a thing. You can now set Pokemon to level 50. And then the battle arenas are still the same. So nothing really changed there. And kind of concluding, Pimp Knight says that Sword and Shield is obviously the better battling experience, which I tend to agree. Not a huge difference there. I'm gonna touch on this. Joe Merrick reports that the GWS, the Global World Station, still isn't ready yet. So this location in Jubilife that you can go to potentially trade your Pokemon with people around the world doesn't even work yet. Still not updated. So that's interesting. But he also goes on to say that it's possible that they didn't want to open that yet until they fix some of the other issues, which we'll talk about next. Kurt Kafotics reports on the fact that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl has now added the Poke Dupe checker, which checks for clones in the save data, party, box, or daycare. Anything detected as a clone will be flagged in the Pokemon's data structure and will be prevented from being traded. This clone comparison checks the usual immutable properties, which is like player ID, IVs, trainer ID, etc. There's a special handling to ignore Shedinja and Ninjask in-game trades and anything foreign to BDSP version IDs. When is this clone check triggered? Opening the trade window with another player or loading into the game. It'll also flag a Pokemon if it has hyper training values below level 100. Nice mitigation to the cloning glitches. Should note that a detected clone player only flags the second entity. If you have multiple clones of something, all but one will end up flagged as clones. So I gotta give them a little clap here. Listen, I've kind of taken the stance over the years that I'm not the Poke Police. I don't care what you do with your game, but I think it's a good thing that they've actually shown some sort of effort in terms of, hey, we're not gonna allow cloning Pokemon to be traded all over the internet, whatever it may be. Like I said, at the end of the day, I kind of go back and forth about it. You know, I personally like to play the game legit. That's how I like to play it. But at the same time, I understand people are going to do what they want to do, and I can't be mad at somebody for using glitches in BDSP to clone their Pokemon. I mean, I made a video about it, right? Like, I showed you guys how to do it. I haven't done it since that video. Not really my thing. Like, I personally don't care to do it, but you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, it is what it is. They make this game, it's so hard to get certain items in this game. It's so time consuming and you can't even really do battles. So at the end of the day, do whatever you want, but I find it fascinating that they actually have added this checker to stop duplicates. And again, I don't really have too much of an opinion about it. It kind of is what it is. I feel like at this point it's like too little too late, but whatever. Then Matt Yukana says that there's a few other interesting things regarding version 1.2. The Legends Arceus origin mark is now displayed for Pokemon that originated in that game. The time travel award is now complete and has art, home transfers coming / incoming, and then goes on to say that the ball IDs from Legends displays the strange ball. This could change when they allow it. So no new moves seem to be updated. They're all the same. So it's very likely that this home patch is coming, and maybe it's coming on Pokemon Day, whatever it may be, but there's most likely going to be a Pokemon home patch coming at some point in the future, and this indicates that maybe there's a way to go from Arceus to BDSP, although I don't plan on doing that personally. I don't really see the value there, but we'll see what ends up happening with that. But there's a few things that I want to mention, and this is where I took to Twitter last night and I got some really big BDSP stans getting angry at me over my honesty. But the reality of it is BDSP has failed on a number of ways. Listen, I like Sinnoh, don't get me wrong, I love Arceus, but BDSP dropped the ball, dude. How is it that there's supposed to be there's supposed to be a Shaman event and a Darkrai event that are in the game? We know they're in the game, they were in the original games, and here we are, February 22nd, and we still don't have the ability to get Shaman or Darkrai in BDSP. What is that? Why is there no GWS? One could presume it's because of the cloning stuff. I don't know. There's still no home compatibility. It's coming, it is what it is, not the end of the world, but it just blows my mind. Like, why would they wait so long to do these things? Are they gonna release the Shaman Darkrai events in April? Like, no one cares about BDSP at that point, right? I just feel like they missed the window of opportunity to release those events in January or at the end of December or whatever it is, and it would give people something extra to do, something extra to have fun with, maybe shiny hunt, whatever it is. But here we are, February 22nd, and we still don't have these events. It just blows my mind sometimes because I don't understand what they're thinking and why they do the things that they do, or rather don't do the things that you would think they should do. I like BDSP, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it's a revolutionary game. It's a copy and paste from the originals, and that's okay, but at least give us those events that we know exist. What are we doing? It just feels weird to me. I don't know, it just feels weird to me. Thanks for listening to me rant. That's version 1.2 for BDSP and the update for Sword and Shield. I told you don't get your hopes too high. I think the next big thing, unless you're a Cafe Mix fan or Cafe Remix fan, is what the next support Pokemon is gonna be for Pokemon Unite. They did announce that they're gonna do a little patch for like Aegislash and Decidueye, but that's all we've gotten so far. And then of course, we just gotta keep our fingers crossed for Pokemon Day and a potential big direct or presents. So keep an eye out for that over the next few days. I do think that they'll announce it ahead of time that there's gonna be one. and that could be at any point. So keep your eyes and ears open, stay glued to the channel, like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this one, and thank you so much for watching. My name is Dan, I also go by Adriv, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.